Idris Elba, you guys. There's been all this rumor and talk and gossip and hope about the possibility of Idris Elba playing James Bond, right? Daniel Craig's gonna do the 25th Bond movie. There's all this talk about who should play him next. So Idris Elba posts this really cryptic picture on Twitter over the weekend. There it is, saying, "My name's Elba, Idris Elba." What is he telling us with this?
It's not cryptic.
And then the next thing he says is,
it makes them
don't believe the hype. It says, yeah. And so there you go. I don't know what to think, but there has been a great deal of speculation about the possibility of Idris Elba playing James Bond.
For years, when it looked like Craig wasn't going to come back for this one.
So I think there's a few things going on. Elba is also just, if he hasn't released it already, he's just about to release his album of house music because he's been producing music. So I think that you could argue that this is a little bit of him just trying to make sure people know that that's coming up and get them interested in him. If they were to even cast him, he's 45 right now,
and that would make being 45.
Nothing. I'm just saying that would makes him that makes him as old as Roger Moore was. Now Roger Moore did more Bond movies than anyone, but you got to figure you want someone young enough that you can get 3 or 4 movies that are like stunt heavy, and that's taxing. Now, so if they didn't start another production until the one with Daniel Craig is done, we're looking at 2, 3 years, 4 years. He'd be 48, 49, unless they shoot him at the same time, which I don't think will happen either. But you could then get a Bond movie one year and another Bond movie the next year.
Because Bond movies are not, there's been a significant hunk of time between them. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that there's been so much talk of him for so long. It would be obviously a bold casting choice. There are obviously other people who could do it. Hiddleston was talked about for a long time. Hardy. There are a lot of good actors who could do it.
And Elba seems interested in a way that there was all that talk about Clive Owen years ago, and Clive Owen, well, actually looks closer to the way Ian Fleming wrote, because Fleming talked about Bond looking like Hoagie Carmichael, and there's a little bit of that in Clive Owen's face, but.
It'd be great if they were bound. They're like, we got to find an actor here in 2018 who looks like Hoagie Carmichael. Otherwise, we can't do any more Bond movies.
Just saying.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
No, he brings
Thank you for
presence
crapping all over my
No, I'm not crapping over it. I think it's a great point. It's funny, though, that the idea that would bind them.
Really fast. Idris Elba brings charisma, he brings a presence, he's an amazing actor. He could do all of that, but then he's stuck being Bond for a little while and can't do other interesting stuff.
But he said, he was clear. First of all, I think you can do other interesting stuff because there's so much time in between, especially television. He's been so good on The Wire, so good on Luther. But he said, unlike these other guys, which I thought you were getting at, I think, he's into it. Like, he's like, man, who wouldn't want to play Bond? So